Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Gold Coast vs Brisbane game in which Gold Coast won. Don't know how, don't know why, but they won. I wasn't really watching this too much. I mean, we had other stuff on, but yeah, just a weird game, and really happy that I think I only had one guy playing in Dunkley. I only had one guy playing in Dunkley, and he did really well. Good trade-in. 137 is a massive trade-in to get. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So as you can see here, Noah Anderson for, I think there was one or two guys in the comments section that said what to do with Noah Anderson. I thought it was fine, and I think this proves it that he's absolutely fine. I think he can be that M8 type of guy at the end of the year, and yeah, this was good output from him. 110. Yes, his break even is he's going down in price a little bit, but 110, you're going to take that from an M8. If he can average that for the rest of the year, I think that's positive. And there are a lot more holes that a lot of people that you'll have to fill rather than Anderson at this point. 26-35, 26-23, that's really good. Raul, the tackler, 320, 47-31, 34. So we had an 81-point second half to save it. And yeah, just a really good game from him to save his score, and a 104. He just looks like he's going to be that type of tackler that if, I don't know, how old is he now? Is he 22, 20, is he 21, 22? He's 22, so he's still got time, but we're really going to need to see him start to get those type of disposal games rather than those, like here, 13 tackles but 19 touches, 12 touches hit, 14, 22. He really needs to start to average that 25 touch and have that 30 touch game for him to really be fantasy relevant. Like this 142 here, we need to start seeing that more regularly. A 22 here, 22 and 7 to 29. Like these are the big games where he goes huge. If he gets over 25 disposals, he goes nuts. So I think Raul's one that could easily develop into an absolute fantasy weapon, but because he has that strong tackling, but we just need to see him get more possessions. And I don't know whether it will happen with Noah Anderson, Flanders, and Miller being in the midfield. Flanders, he's been an awesome option, and if we look here, is that, yeah, we switched over to him here, 19, 34, 29, 21. I think he only had, I read, eight CBAs, but I'm not too worried. I mean, his role could diminish with Tuka finally coming back in, and I think that could diminish Flanders' role, but I think he will, like Fiorini was at one point, scoring really well off the wing. I think Gold Coast have a tendency to have wingers that can actually score. So I think Flanders could play that high half forward or that wing role and score really well. But we'll just have to wait and see how Miller interacts and how that occurs over the next couple of weeks. As I think Miller sort of he's come back from injury, and one of the games, I believe, it wasn't this game, I think it was the last game, he actually played a little bit forward and has slowly migrated back to that full midfield role. So I think you will see Miller migrate back to that. And I don't know if it's at the expense of Flanders and I don't think Anderson can play off ball, so I think it will be Flanders that moves out to the wing or back to a half forward role, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Swallow 102, I think he's coming out of, I don't know if he's that like fourth mid or something like that, or whether he's coming off the back line and doing it, because I would have thought he'd have a defender status by then, but maybe he just didn't click over in time. But 37, 18, 23, 24, pretty good output from him, but he's definitely not a midfielder of interest, I don't think. Ainsworth 98, Miller 97, as we talked about here, 13, 34, 32, 18. I think this is when he started to get that midfield time, especially trying to negate Lockie Neal, as we see down here with the 60. That really actually helped my round, Neal going 60. And yeah, just really, I think he's going to be one for next year at this rate with the way he's tracking. Ellis 94, Witts 91, Atkins 90. He fell off in the last quarter. He was tracking really well, but fell off. Powell 89. He did alright. Just not a top 6 defender, really. More like a top 20 type guy. King, McAndrew, McPherson even kicked a goal, I'm pretty sure, and still just didn't get going. He was one of my worst picks this year. I think him and Bruin are two picks that I'll look back on and be like, and try and learn from them, as well as Witts trying to go against people in the ruck department is probably one of the hardest ones to do. as there really only ever is 2 or 3 good ruckmen, and Witts was not one of them. But McPherson was one of those bad picks, as I picked him based on, I guess it was before I really looked into Gold Coast, and I picked him based against a lot of debate against a lot of people with like Steele before Steele was really good. So I gained a little bit, but I lost a lot with McPherson. Casbolt, Ballard, Hollands, Lukosius, Humphrey, no one else here really important. Humphrey again, just 53 average. He might be one next year that we pop on, but I don't think so, as they're too stacked in the midfield, but we'll wait for pre-season next year. Brisbane, Dunkley 137. It's going to lose forward status next year. 137, absolutely huge. And yeah, just that third quarter, 59, just rose up and just dominated, and wish I'd had the captaincy on him or even the VC on him over Bont, as Bont struggled for, I think, his lowest score of the year. McCluggage 115, 50 in the first, so he's one to look at in case, just because of the Ashcroft injury, he could be one that picks it up, and I think that is going to be the case. I mean, I think Neil just got locked down, and I think that's not a Neil performance. I think he'll be back with a 105 next week, but I think McCluggage will be one to definitely benefit from, but we'll have to wait and see with his with what he does, I think, next week, because that'll be a real indicator. Leicester, Archie, Zorko, Coleman, Cameron Coleman. I think Coleman might be potentially injured, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Darcy Wilmot, I think, will fade into obscurity in AFL fantasy, as I don't think he'll ever develop into a guy that will have a massive role. I think he'll just sort of be that guy that averages 70, 75 off the wing, sort of like an Adam Sard, sort of like a Sard and Blakey type player. Danaher, McInerney, Berry, McCarthy, Lohman, Neil. Neil got absolutely locked down. A 9-pointer in the first, 18, 26 in the third. If he didn't have a good third, we're looking at a guy who would have scored 40 or something like that. And, I mean, he even got a free kick for a tackle 4, I think, right on the siren or something like that. I wasn't really watching. And, yeah, just did nothing in the last quarter. And he stayed on 59 for so long that I was like, is he actually out there injured? Is he out there, or is he just injured on the bench or something like that? But he was out there, just not doing anything. Rayner, he's not even that player like Bont when he's getting tagged. At least he can do something tackle-wise or something else. Neil just seems to not do anything when he's tagged. And that's the problem with like Neil and Merritt and stuff like that. They don't really up their tackles enough to really impact when they're tagged. So that's why they're such a big risk. Rayner, Starcevic, Hipwood, McKenna, Andrews, Fletcher got subbed out on 39. I think he's one that we could get lucky with. Next year, Payne, Gunston, and Turnstall all did basically nothing. And that is basically the review there. A little bit shorter on the Brisbane side of things, just because they're not really as much. They're more of just Dunkley, Neil, and McCluggage at the moment, as we're not really looking at rookies. I mean, you could look at rookies for next year, and Jasper Fletcher, I think he'll be priced. Let me just check here with Fletcher. What's he going to be priced at? Fletcher is now priced at 57 at the moment, but he'll get the 10 games, I believe. But we could hopefully see him priced at around 50 next year, even though I don't think that'll be an option. But we'll have to wait and see. And Turnstall, as we said, is going to be priced at mid-price, I think. 2 games at 16, and did he play in 2022? 3 games at 41. So yeah, he'll be, or he might not be priced at mid-price. 2 games. If he plays the remaining 6, then he'll have 24. He'll have 12% off of 41, which is priced at 36, which would still price him at, I believe, 320 odd K or something ridiculous. So we'll have to wait and see on that front, as I think he will be priced a little bit higher than what people expect, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that is the video there, and I'll see you guys in the next review, which I believe is the Sydney versus Essendon game, and then we'll have today also the Showdown game review. So I'll see you guys in that one. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.